And in a way, it's just a complete colossal mind bender to try to work around how do you start proving what is real and what is not real.
Sara Angel is the founder of Art Canada Institute. Its motto is to make Canadian art history a contemporary conversation. Sara, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sara, it's always a contemporary conversation when we're talking about theft that's happening right now. Talk to me about what artists lose when their work is forged or faked.
I think they lose a sense of themselves. I think they lose part of their reputation. I think that they also lose a financial security because what ends up happening is seeds of doubt are sown into what is real and what's not real. And imagine if you were going out to purchase something, whether it was a piece of art or whether it was a piece of jewelry, it was a car. If all of a sudden you're thinking, I don't know, maybe this isn't real, but maybe this other work is real, you're going to go for the one that you feel is more of a sure bet. And nobody wants to feel like they're picking up something that's potentially very expensive and then not real.
You talk to so many artists out there. I mean, how did they feel when this happens to them?
It's devastating. There is a doubt that's being put out there. I will say that right now, most artists who are living artists aren't experiencing forgery. It tends to happen more with artists who are already deceased. And part of the reason is because there's nobody there to speak up. However, there is, in a way, somebody to speak up, and that is the artist estate. So in the case of Norval Morrisseau, for instance, it was the artist estate who can speak out. But what those representatives of the artist feel is a real lack of themselves and a real sense of violence against the person and against the work of art. And in a way, it's just a complete colossal mind bender to try to work around how do you start proving what is real and what is not real.
Sara, is there a better way then to protect an artist's work in your mind?
Theoretically, but it is not necessarily always done, or it is rarely done. We now have a technology in place that we could essentially put barcodes or use technology to start to document artwork so that people would know where it's come from, where it has been, etc. However, that we're talking about technology that's 2026. Most artwork is works that have been done in the past, and therefore it's tricky to start to go back in time. On top of that, really, really expensive to start to put that technology into works from the past.
How important then is art education when it comes to finding out what's real, so people are really not misled here?
I think art education is really the key thing in terms of trying to avoid art fakes, art frauds. And one of the reasons I believe that Norval Morrisseau's work has been forged so widely is because he's a relatively new artist. In terms of understanding Indigenous art with a lot of scholarship that is attached to it, a lot of art history knowledge, a lot of knowing about the market, etc. That's a relatively new thing. And so that means it's not being taught in great details in classrooms and universities, etc. And until that scholarship is really established, that's one of the reasons that there can be more forgery, that it can be out there. It's just a lack of education.
Okay, so you want to see children interacting with the provenance, talking about the pieces, looking at the paint, looking at the brushstrokes, and having these conversations so that as they grow up, they know what to watch for themselves.
I would love that. I would love for artists' names and Canadian artists to be household names. And I think that is a first step. I think that I'm, of course, in the business of art education. And I think the more we understand terms like provenance, in terms of more we understand what art forgery is, the sooner we'll come around to understanding how forged works can be considered a great crime.